I feel most comfortable by saying it's a musicality. By that I mean is that there's a kind of rhythm, you know, the way that I want to see if I can have your eye follow the frame from edit to edit in a way that's pleasing, that also is reflected in the sound that's going on. It may not be music, but it also may be sound effects, and also by the language that's being, and how the people are saying the language, whatever their language is. If it's English, or if it's nonverbal, or if it's you know, the expression they have, or if it's a scoff, whatever the sound is, whatever the language is that they're communicating, that complements with the sound going on behind it. Sometimes, you know, sometimes people care, sometimes people don't care. But I also think another thing that that interests me, and I think is reflected in, if I were to describe it as a style, is people. You know, seeing seeing the nonverbals. You know, you know, we want, a lot of times it's very tempting to cut on what is it the person says, but I'm always interested in what is it that they may not be saying, or what is their face saying after their mouth said something. And so I mean, I always try to look for that, and also, and I don't mean this in a I'll just say it, is that I fall in love with everybody that I edit, even the bad guys. By that I mean is that, you know, the bad guy doesn't think he's a bad guy. So for me as a viewer, it's always more interesting if I was able to see that, you know, when you watch Silence of the Lambs, you know, Hannibal Lecter, he's a pretty charming guy. There's, you know, that makes him far more interesting. Other than him eating livers and things like that, there's like, you know, he's all right. And so the same with everybody. So if I'm able to really recognize, like, what is it about, you know, this person that I'm seeing that is most interesting and most redeeming, most interesting, then all of the transgressive things, all the quote unquote bad things that they do, are shaded by that. And not every show is interested in that. Basically, a lot of shows want to be, and it's not a criticism, some shows want to just be melodramatic, wherein it's binary, it's black or white. But, you know, for me, I was think of one of the definitions of the difference between drama and melodrama. Melodrama gives you no choice as a viewer. Melodrama gives you no choice. Drama, as a viewer, you have choice. You know, well, he's not that, but, which is, to me, is far more interesting to watch. It's far, you know, I'm engaged then. So if I'm able to honor that, or at least show that in the thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands of decisions you're making as an editor, it's like, why do you include this shot of them as opposed to that shot of them? You know, why are they going like this as opposed to, like, you know, whatever. The image is that I choose, that is part of the narrative. I'm not choosing it just because I need coverage. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I didn't get a cutaway, but most of the time it is like if I have to choose. Do I choose this one or that one? And for me, I'm looking at how does this shade this person's character for me, the viewer, if I include this shot of them.